Hello everybody, this is the Spearman, embracer of human good and analyst of fiction, and the Bizarre Critic just told me earlier today, just before I went to see the first showing of Detective Pikachu, that the Final Fantasy VII Remake teaser trailer has just come out. So, I've been waiting for hours to see this, and I'm telling you right off the bat, this is already a disappointment how it's only barely a minute long, so, you know, how much are we going to get? Also, this is my first official reaction onto the Spear Reacts videos, because, as you noticed in my other video, I recreated my first reaction, my reaction to the Star Wars Episode 9 trailer, because I realized too late I should have made a first viewing reaction to begin with, but what's past is past, and there's also a couple other things on YouTube that I should have made first viewings of, but didn't, and you know, I feel bad for not doing so, but here I am now, doing the first official Spear Reacts video of first viewings towards different things that have come to my attention. And okay, I'm gonna start now. I'll edit around everything after I'm done recording this, and I'll talk some more after this 1 minute teaser. Let's see what the epicness is. Also, it says here the captions are automatically put in, so this may just be Japanese, which I'm fine with, but okay, no more stalling. Let's get to it. Development footage subject to change. The return draws closer. Return.
Halt! Hands up!
Oh, it is in English.
Have fun.
I'm here for you, to help take the load off your shoulders.
So, what's our next move, boss?
That's easy enough.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Barrett sounds a lot better, and so Aerith sounds pretty cool.
This is for you.
A flower?
Is that the same actress who voiced her in Crisis 4?
And you bear to see the planet suffer. Cloud.
And there is Sephiroth. More to come in June. Huh. Cool. Okay, first of all, was that Steve Burton voicing Cloud, and more importantly, was that George Newbern voicing Sephiroth? I gotta look into this, because I mean, Barrett sounded better. I've seen, you know, the other two Final Fantasy VII Remake trailers from, like, years ago, and my big complaint there was that Barrett didn't sound right. Steve Burton, Final Fantasy VII Remake. A bunch of these are just old articles from a few years back, or a couple years back in 2017. And what really, I can't tell if that's George Newbern as Sephiroth, because they have to have him as Sephiroth. God, this shit is so hard to find information on. Okay. Let me listen to this again. I'll edit around this because I want to double check to make sure. I mean, Steve Burton, that sounds like Steve Burton, I think. They better not replace him, because no matter what you say about Steve Burton's performance in the past, you know, he is the perfect choice for Cloud, in my opinion. And as for Aerith, I prefer Mina Suvari in Kingdom Hearts 2 and Advent Children. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I thought she was solid with those performances, and I still feel that way to this day after all these years. And if they replace George Newbern as Sephiroth, oh fuck, am I gonna go in a rant. Okay, let's start here. Actually, no, maybe a bit further back. Yeah. Here's fine.
I'm here for you, to help take the load off your shoulders.
So, what's our next move, boss?
That's easy enough.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Here. This is for you.
A flower?
It's possible they've either modified his voice a bit, or they asked him to perform it a bit differently. That doesn't sound like George Newbern.
Can you bear to see the planet suffer, Cloud? Can you bear to see the planet suffer, Cloud?
That sounds like Ben Diskin from Kids Next Door and fucking the Kingdom Hearts series with young Xehanort. I mean, if that is him, you know, he's a great actor, a voice actor and all, but what is he doing here? What the hell is he doing here as Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII? I mean, what the hell is going on? This is the same shit as replacing Hayden Panettiere in Kingdom Hearts 3 and not making a big deal out of it. Okay. The teaser itself, this video is going on long enough. The teaser itself is pretty damn solid. It's pretty damn good. You know, even if it's only a minute, and they're expecting us to wait till June for some more shit. I mean, I doubt it's coming this year. The Final Fantasy VII Remake that we've all longed for is coming out this year. It may come out next year at the earliest. It may not come until 2021 or 2022, which is the 25th anniversary of the original game, ironically enough. Amazingly enough. Oh my god. How did they decide? Let's just assume, I guess they must have decided from the beginning to replace Sephiroth, to replace George Newbern as Sephiroth. George Newbern was fucking perfect as Sephiroth. You know, he always got the pure menace, the pure evil, and odious complex, if I'm saying that right, the godlike complex, right, when it came to this character. Now, whether you're a Final Fantasy fan or Kingdom Hearts fan or not, take note that George Newbern has voiced Sephiroth ever since Kingdom Hearts 2. Way back in the early 2000s. I mean, not early. Mid-2000s. That was well over 10 years ago. And the irony there is that the first person who did voice Sephiroth in the early 2000s was an NSYNC guy named Lance Bass, who actually did a great job, even though his performance, per se, was literally only battle quotes for a secret boss battle in the original Kingdom Hearts game. A lot of people have given him shit over the years for that one performance alone, which was just, literally just a bunch of battle quotes. I don't know if there was even a couple dozen battle quotes or so, if even that. and people would give him a lot of shit about it. And but I thought it was great. But from the moment I heard George Newbern's performance as a kid, I knew that was fucking Sephiroth, and that is fucking awesome. And this was long before I even knew that a different guy had voiced him in the secret boss battle of the original Kingdom Hearts game. And I've loved George Newbern's vocal performance as Sephiroth ever since then. And even when it came to Dissidia NT of Final Fantasy, he still came back. After all these years, he still came back. Even for a game that just recently came out, like barely a year ago. I haven't played it, but I've watched it. I've watched Let's Plays and stuff, and the gameplay looks great and all. The story is fine, but it's very flawed. And you know, George Newbern, as long as fantastic voice actors like him were there, it was well worth it. If they fucking replaced him, God, I don't know what I'm going to do. God, I'm going to probably wish I was in a different dimension. I mean, fuck. I mean, I'm gonna be, depending on what unfolds, what information unfolds and is given to us and so forth, I'm gonna probably be a lot more angry, depending on what's going on with Sephiroth here, and or just as bad, possibly even worse, if Steve Burton has been replaced as Cloud. I mean, we saw, like, all those years ago, back in 2015, we saw the teaser trailer in December of that year, which clearly had Steve Burton as Cloud again, and I was fucking excited, and I assume everyone else was, so assuming that he's been replaced, which I hope to fuck he has not been replaced, what the fuck happened? Did they... I mean, he was even on some stuff about how Cloud was not coming in Kingdom Hearts 3 and so forth. I mean, whew. This is all very ambiguous. Very exceedingly ambiguous, in my opinion, particularly in regards to these two crucial voice actors, these two crucial roles supposedly being replaced from roles of the past. And oh my god, if they replace Tifa Lockhart, if they replace Rachel Lee Cook as Tifa Lockhart, I am going to bust a fucking gut. Oh my fucking god. And again, the same with Steve Burton. When World of Final Fantasy came out, that was his voice as Cloud. He came back as Cloud, just like the rest of them did, as their respective Final Fantasy characters, for that game and for Dissidia NT later on. Even Rachel Lee Cook came back as Tifa for that game. You know, and it's a shame that virtually no voice actor for that game was ever interviewed on either side. Japanese voice actors are one thing, but for the American voice actors to not be interviewed, that's a whole sad other thing. But at least Steve Burton and Rachel Lee Cook were there in all their glory as Tifa and Cloud. And God, if Steve Burton is replaced, or even Rachel Lee Cook, I don't know what I'm gonna fucking do. There's only so much I can do to bust a gut, but I'm gonna have to anyway, depending on what is revealed to us, what happens. You can't just replace these actors who have been these characters in other products and other spin-off material or related theme material for years. And you can't just do this and expect us to not make noise about it. Or at least the ones who have enjoyed it for so long. I'm sure there are some people who have not appreciated Steve Burton's performance or Rachel Lee Cook's, or even George Newbern. I don't know. But there are just as many, if not even more, people who absolutely love and adore those performances as much as I do. And you can't just replace them without some sort of acknowledgement, public acknowledgement, other than just, oh, we'll put a little bit of this in the trailer, and this teaser trailer that's out now, and nobody will notice. As for the game itself, it looks really damn good, and you know, I'm really excited to see what comes forth as far as the game itself is concerned. It looks a lot better than Final Fantasy 15 in my opinion, and that's saying something, because Final Fantasy 15, despite my own problems with it, that's a whole other story. It did have some pretty fantastic in-game graphics for its time. nowhere as good as the movies, as the Kingsglaive movie or even the cinematics in that respective game. No way. Unless the voice actors in question, the respective voice actors in question, unless they request that they no longer play these characters that they played for years and years now, you know, that's totally fine. You know, we may be disappointed, or I may be disappointed along with other people who really like their performances over the years. You know, I respect it. I totally respect their decision, whether I like it or not. If that's what they want, then I'm totally fine with that. But if the developers themselves chose to just, no, we don't care how special these voice actors' performances are to the fans or to longtime Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts players and stuff. We don't care. We're going to replace them because we feel like it, because it's cheaper to buy it, to hire a new guy to voice these iconic characters rather than the people who have pretty much voiced them from the beginning. Steve Burton was the very first person to ever voice Cloud, and from the beginning he did a dang good job. And if he's replaced, again, what am I going to do? What are we going to do? What is the rest of the world going to do, if the rest of the world even cares? I don't know. But unless they request retirement from these iconic characters that they voiced for so long, you cannot replace them, especially when longtime fans like me are going to make noise about it. You just can't fucking get away with that, man. It's just so fucked up. Okay. I've gone on long enough. Thank you for staying with me. The bottom line is, the game looks great. The graphics alone look fucking fantastic. The gameplay looks like it's a lot of fun. It's going to be great. I recognize this and that from classic PS1 days and all that. And the voice acting, again, while I am very concerned about the possible replacement of George Newbern or even Steve Burton, and I can't decide which one is worse, if they're both equally as phenomenally terrible. But regardless, the voice acting does seem pretty solid too. Does seem great. And I have no idea who voices Aerith, but she seems to be doing a great job. And for now, the rest of this remake is exceedingly ambiguous as before, though not quite as before, just a little bit better. Okay, thank you for listening to me babble about Final Fantasy stuff over this single 1-minute teaser of the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and me and Bizarro Critic are going to be on the ball when this supposed new trailer or information or whatever shit comes out in June, and we'll catch on to it then, and I'll see you in the next Spirit Reacts video. Alright, take care everybody. Good night. It's pretty late here, so yeah. Good night.